y'all, I got a past life and reincarnation story for you that is still boggling the mind of scientists to this day. Now, this happened back in the 90s, I believe, and it involves this then 5-year-old little boy by the name of Luke Roman. And Luke remembers his past lives, and he remembers the vivid images and everything. And he tells his parents that in his past life, he was a melanated woman living in Chicago. And of course, his parents are like, okay, because they never really, gave too much heed to, past lives and reincarnation. But after that encounter with their son, I can promise you that they are a believer now. The mom starts off the story by saying that when her son was 2 years old, he would always talk about someone named Pam. He would name his dogs Pam. One time they were out in the yard and she saw a ladybug, and Luke was fascinated. And she says, well, what do you think we should call her, Luke? And of course he said, Pam. And the mom is like, we don't even know any Pam.
When Luke was 3, it was Valentine's Day, and we were hanging little Valentine's Day decorations in the window. They were little owls that were red and pink. I asked him what we should name one of the owls, and he said Pam. I kind of had that moment where I was like, I want to know why it's always Pam. Who's Pam? And he looks right at me and he says, I was. Well, I used to be, and then I died. And I went up to heaven, and God pushed me back down. And when I woke up, I was a baby, and you named me Luke.
So there is the beginning of that story. Can you imagine?
Luke was 4,
what the
and
mom
we were
was
watching
thinking
TV,
when she heard that coming out of her toddler's
it was
mouth.
Something about a
Okay?
bombing, and a picture came up with a building, and it had a hole blown in the side. And Luke said, I don't want to watch this anymore. I don't want to watch it anymore. This is scaring me.
So then as the story goes along, Luke and his mom was watching TV. And in one of the scenes on the TV screen, this big building, this huge building, it just blew up. And the explosion triggered Luke. And he was like, I don't want to watch it anymore. Just looking at it, it's making me sad.
I said, do you remember how you died?
Mom is like, okay, we don't have
He said,
to
yeah.
watch it. And
it was a fire.
She discovers why.
I first decided to do some research once Luke had given me a city, a name, and a means of death. I figured if there was some kind of a fire in Chicago and there were casualties, that there'd have to be some kind of a record.
So here, Luke is describing a fire broke out. And fast forward a little bit, it was the Paxson Hotel in Chicago. Huge hotel caught on fire. The fire was immense. And this is where Luke starts to describe how he died in that past life. Now, he explained it to his mom, and his mom is one of those moms that I just love.
It was in March of 1993. There was a fire that was called the Paxson Hotel fire. The fire was massive, and when the fire department first arrived at the fire, they found people hanging outside of the windows and off of the roof of the building. They had to call in a specialist to identify the bodies.
Now, in the mom's research, she discovered that Pam was a 30-year-old melanated woman who was at that hotel. And because the fire was so hot, so intense, sadly, she jumped and she was unalived upon impact. It was a sad moment. And so the mom wanted to dig a little bit deeper and just to test what her son was telling her. And so what she did was to gather some random pictures of people with the picture.
You want to look at these pictures?
Him. Yeah. And she gave it to her son. And this is what happened.
Do you know who any of those people are?
I know someone I can recognize.
He looked right at the correct picture. He said he recognized that one and that he remembered it being taken.
But it was the other time.
It was the other time?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. This little boy just remembered his self back in his past life as a melanated woman. And he goes to say, but that was in another time. His memory is so sharp. This story fascinates me, even though it's sad and everything that happened in it. But it's fascinating because it tells the story of the soul. And I don't know why it's so hard to grasp the truth that we are eternal beings and that our souls are eternal and that we do not die. We are energetic beings. Okay? And we cannot die. That's just what it is. Okay? That's it and that's all. This right here will go away, but our spirits will be forever. And y'all still out there talking about, girl, that thing ain't real. Okay, all right. You stay right there with your disbelief. Ask Luke, okay? I bet you he can tell you.